to.
Another episode of the 16-bar marathon. I go by the name of Paul Blythe Writer. For those of you that didn't know, those that do, you know what it is. And all of you that have been asking what my name means, you know, the Blythe part means carefree, it means casual. Free-spirited, that's me. See, there's a show about hip-hop, man, where we talk about the ups and the downs, where we show you what goes on into artists' lives, and they talk about themselves. And each month, 3 artists are given a pool of beats in which they choose to write to, with the concept relating to the holiday of the month. And those that can't write to the holiday or the concept, then they could just talk about anything that happens, you know, on social media and that type of thing. But enough about me, man. Let's let the artists introduce themselves. Hey.
Education was already way too much to handle, but the forced Afrikaans is what broke the back of the camel.
My name is Mankind, the original man. That's what I go by. Other people call me Khala, other people call me Jilo. I've got quite a lot of names through the phases of my life. But for all the music listeners out there and everybody else, you can just call me Mankind. I'm from the Vaal Triangle. I was raised in Gang, grew up in Zone 3, not too far from here, not too far from where we shot the other video for 16-bar marathon. So Wilberforce is actually quite a nostalgic environment for me, because that's where we used to, we used to play football around there. That's where we got introduced to some of the other stuff like Kush and stuff back then. It used to be quite a decent place. Like, I think that it used to be a college and stuff. And now apparently it's a bit dilapidated, but back then it used to be a structure. So back then we used to hang out around those places before, so that does hold quite a lot of nostalgic memories. But yeah, basically Mankind is from the Vaal. I'm based in Joburg now, but I grew up in the Vaal. Studied in the Vaal, spent, my whole family is down here. I grew up in Zone 3, as I said, and then at some point my family moved to Merton in the Mid-Vaal. Been there, or my family's been there since. So yeah, I think that's pretty much in a nutshell about Mankind.
Tlhaontabanyane ke bokamoso, ke bogale, ke bokajeno, ke motsotso o tlang, ke tsohle. Nna ka lebitso ke Kgwadi. Ke hotse ke phela between the south ya Africa le Lesotho. Motseng o monyane ba reng ke ha Kgabo le ha Hlatswane. Ka ithola ke le between Lesotho, which is le Sharpeville, nne Sosolo, ka end up ke le Everton, mo ke holetseng teng nako e telele. Empa ka se lebale hore ke mang, ke ka ho tsohle tse ke di etsa ka leleme la ka. Ke motho wa tswang morapeng wa Basotho.
Yeah. Yeah, a lack of education is abuse to the mind. By education, I don't mean being institutionalized. I mean honing a skill from everything we learn, making a dream real by putting ideas to work. Aging, you realize time is no illusion wasted. You find your mind lost in the confusion, accepting beliefs that are far from the truth. How do we lead when we are followers of others' views?
Well, my official government names is Radinto, which is my Sesotho name. I was named after my grandfather's uncle. And then the other one that I have is Tomogara, which I got from my dad. He named me after the commander of the guerrilla army that was involved in the struggle that in Zimbabwe that led to the colonial liberation of Zimbabwe. And yeah, that's how I got that name. And my dad used to just like the guy and what the whole struggle in Zimbabwe was about, and he felt, because at the time there was around this like late 70s, like 79, the guy passed away. Apparently it was an assassination, but it's known that he died from a car accident, right? So him being the leader of the guerrilla army that led to Zimbabwe's liberation, my pops at the time was like a political activist who was going in and out of prison. And at the time, I mean, the apartheid laws were so rife, so he wasn't sure if he was really gonna make it, you know, and it appeared like the struggle would never end. So he deliberately named me after the guy, feeling like, okay, if it happens, he dies and the struggle doesn't ever end, I'll be that guy that carries it through after him from the family, be a political activist or even a soldier of some sort, maybe join controversies or something like that. But yeah, so that's the history behind that. And I was born in a hospital, like it's no longer existing, but there was a hospital in Vereeniging that I was born in, and I spent a couple of the few childhood years was spent in Sharpeville. And then much later, my dad was based in the West Rand in Kagiso. So much later, I moved with my parents to Kagiso, with my mom's actually, to go live with my dad. And yeah, I lived there for quite a while.
So you've met the artists, right? And you're gonna get to know them in a minute. So we go into that point where we talk about the public holiday that we have this month. This month we had June 16. We're celebrating Youth Day. In case you don't know, it was about the Soweto uprising, where about 700 students of 1976 were killed because they were fighting against Afrikaans, being taught in Afrikaans in schools. And here's what the artists have to say about this, man.
Getting ready for it. Ne ke na le malome habo moaka a ne ke dula teng ke le monyane o na le di-record tse ngata ke a hopola a bapala record e nngwe for the first time ena ke hip hop ne ke sa tsebe le hip hop ena kana go ke le so hip hop
ine le amanga tota
ya ke sa hopola mara ke tsa Khala haholo ke nako tse ke show tsa bo Mad Lion bo MC Hammer hip hop ina e ka reng disco not a lot of lyrics yeah bubblegum nyana ine le nako tse mara yena ona haholo ne ona mamedisa bo Brenda Fassie bo Chico Twala bo Dolom Kids bo Mavon Chaka Chaka Kwaito Dende Tigezi Mandoza so malome ka ke ena motho ne mona ona nkenya holo you know empa ka le site in London wa rangwana wa ene le motho a ratang mmino ona rata ha ka bo dipika mo maboteng bo kae ka sound so ke nana ntwe ya mmino ke nkile ho yena hape nkgono wa ne le motho a komba wa bona sound ya khalebitswang komba ke speaker ke ntho mo do mo ke record ka ofela nkgono wa kona na le sound yo go le bitswang komba so na rata o letsa mmino a o na ngata ke ela na mpitsa am feeling bitso le na gwadi ke na fela na mpitsa ka lo
Let me try to keep that. Let me just try another one. But I like that still. There's more expression to it. Music in general, like just introduction to music as before hip hop or anything else. Like it was through my dad. He used to collect a lot of records and he also played the guitar. And I remember when I was like 3, 4, he bought me a djembe drum and I'll play the djembe and he would play some guitar chords and would jam at the cribs. So just music generally like began in the mid-late 80s, around that time, like 86, '88, around that time. And then hip hop, well, initially it was just glimpse of it through, TV, seeing MC Hammer videos, and then there was a group called Snap, I think in the 90s, who did I Got the Power. So that was sort of like before I even officially said, yeah, this is what I want to do, but that sound like felt like, yo, this is what I want to listen to more, and then as time went on, I think around 93, when Snoop released Doggy Style, that's when it became, sort of official. Like, yeah, I just like the whole rebellious attitude at the time, and Snoop being from the West Coast of the United States, and then it introduced me to a whole lot more artists from the West Coast, like your NWA, Ice Cube, and the rest, Dr. Dre and them. And that's where it began. And then I think 94, when I got inspired, because then 93, 92 was just, we were just enjoying the music, and we used to have hip hop parties going on in Sharpeville. There was this hip hop party culture, and we had crews who would throw parties. Like, we had your TGs, you had PH, LBCs, and them. And by 94, when I was watching, I remember there was a show called 0 Hour Zone, and I usually would miss the show because it would start at like the 000 time, like in the midnight, right? So then it was hard for me to like stay up until 12, until midnight. But this one day, I remember I just decided to just chill there, drinking coffee at 13, and just trying to see this show because I'll be told about it, about the hip hop videos there, Biggie Smalls and all of them, and I remember on that night, sometime in 94, the first video that they played was The World Is Yours, Nas. And I knew from then that this is it. In fact, I need to even start writing rhymes. I want to rap like this guy. And that's with hip hop, that's where it began from.
You good? Okay, cool. Good color here.
The rioting would quickly spread across the country and for the regime.
Sharp, eh? Okay, cool. Alright, let's go.
The rioting would quickly spread across the country and for the regime, things never went back to being quite as calm.
I think I was still in primary, like just from hearing some of those breakout songs that came out in the 90s. So I really got introduced in the golden era, or as it's called, the golden era, in the early 90s, around 93, 94, when I first heard, Dr. Dre and Snoop and Tupac and Biggie, Bad Boy. So that's the time when I really started listening in. There had been some, breakout songs that had made waves in SA. I think before that, like LL Cool J had made waves, and MC Hammer back then, Vanilla Ice, but it hadn't really, I think the torch hadn't really been lit in SA, apart from maybe say POC, Prophets of the City from Cape Town. So Cape Town was, I think, a bit ahead of the rest of the country in terms of catching on to hip hop back then. But from my side, from myself growing up in Gauteng, it was around the 93, 94 times when I first heard, Tupac and Biggie and, Bad Boy and Wu-Tang, so that's when I got introduced into hip hop.
So you've met the artists, right? You know who they are, you know what they're about, and you're gonna keep knowing, you're gonna keep learning about them. Right now, we want you in the comment section. Don't forget that. 16-bar marathon, Khala Filim pictures everywhere on social media. We are still here. We like hearing from you, and we want to know what you think. Get in the comment section. With his first 16-bar, Kaho Ndabanyani. Kimsotho.
Khala Filim pictures. 16-bar Maradona. Sound Dabanyane, Massive zelela kgwedi ke Phupjane bongwe bolela ba ithola ba podiukane tokelo tsa gona di hatellwa banna senkgame tsweletere ho batjha se re tlaneng tsena kaofela di lwanetse banna ka nkane kgethollo ke moya o mobe ka diketane re mona re bona kgwedi modimo sankatane e sa tswela pele ntwa ho bahlabane Seso banna, video banna, seko banna, kgethollo banna. Hela, kere, hela, mosinyi wa tsohle, hohle, hodima bohle, hohle. Hela tokoloho, ho bohle, hela tokoloho, ho bohle.
Nka se re hona le se ke se preferang hobane tlhao ha se necessarily o ka re ke rap tlhao ke tlhao nka ke tsa sohle se tlang ho nna nka jeno nka etsa pina o nahana hore ke ya o ithoka o nahana ke ya mohobelo ka laosane nka rap ka laosane nka bina ka laosane so tlhao ha se necessarily box ke tsa kaofela tlhao hana master tlhao ha follow melao hore o ka se re pele line tse tharo hore wa bona ha follow di rapa tse tsa hore 8 bars 10 tlhao etsa fela se tlang ho yena se tlang ka kelellong ka nako eo hobane tlhao ke motho wa badimo ya mmino go etsa ngwa tlhao kwa badimo ke motho wa badimo haholo believe ho modimo ho badimo ke bona ba fetisang tsohle ho modimo mahareng a intro fela.
Okay, so let's say
yeah, something like that.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Right. I think hip hop is just so versatile, man. I prefer all styles. Just do it well, you know. So there's so much versatility in hip hop that I think it would be short-sighted to really confine yourself to one style. But if I had to pick one, I'm really into the artists who are who are about the craft, who are into lyricism, who are into the poetry. So if I can mention guys that have influenced me, maybe that probably can give you a better sense. So I got introduced I got influenced more by the guys that were very technical with the craft, like Big Pun and Cannabis, and the guys that were tricky with the wordplay and could tell stories. So I like everything in hip hop because hip hop is about human emotions. It's an outlet to channel human emotions. So on another day, it can be an emotion that's channeling revolutionary aspirations or frustrations or whatever. On another day, we can be having a nice time and we want to party, we want to have fun. On another day, we need to reflect and stuff. So there's so much versatility in hip hop, and I enjoy all of it. But me personally, I think I'm more drawn into the guys that are into, the more social commentary kind of hip hop. The hip hop that's like reflective of situations around us and really makes you think and ponder on what the artist is saying. That's what I think resonates with me. But I really appreciate hip hop in its broadest sense, and I feel like there's so many compartments and categories, and if you do it well, I enjoy it. So I'm not really restricted in that sense in terms of the style. I just if it sounds good, if it's saying something, if it resonates with me, if the music and the sound itself is good, then I'm into it. So I'm an avid hip hop listener. I listen to all kinds of hip hop. So yeah.
Before the whole Battlekat producer guy started off rapping, right? And around 95, I remember at the time, I wanted primo type beats or Pete Rock type beats, but at the time, people when they would make hip hop beats, they would make these plastic sounding type beats with keyboards and everything, and then I wasn't really vibing with that at the time. And I remember there was a studio, I wanted to record a demo. There was a studio, I don't know if it still exists, in Joburg, Chandel. They made a lot of traditional vendor music there. And then Baba Benny used to work a lot there. I think he sort of was a partner there or something like that, because I used to see him there a lot. So I went there, and I remember this guy who was the technical producing guy, like just hum melodies and just make drum pattern sounds with my mouth for him to program. And he would get frustrated because I'll tell him that, it's not getting there, man. Beef up those drums a little bit. And he's like, no, these are MIDI drums. There are no EQs for them and everything. And I remember there was a time where he's like, okay, you know what? Next time you must pay for sessions to learn these things and make the music that you want to make, because I don't get what you want from me, And 95, like, small scale, like, it wasn't even serious. I wasn't even taking it as serious, but I just knew that I wanted to make my original hip hop beats that could accommodate my rap. So rapping is where it began for me, and I guess now I feel I've actually grown in the mind, that because there was a time where I didn't even want to rap anymore, feeling like I don't really have anything to say, So right now I've sort of grown in the mind with life experiences, and I feel like I have more to share now. So now I'm actually more confident as a lyricist than, well, I still am. I still love making the beats, but I enjoy rapping more this time.
Where? Is this a take already?
Nah, it's up to you. You want it to be a take?
Let's just do a run and then we'll do, like, just so I can get the feel of how I'm gonna approach it.
Okay.
Tilela. Yeah, man. That was Tahon Tabanyani, right? With a 16 bar. And this rapper up next, this is an educated brother, y'all. Most people think rappers are stupid. But this brother Red, he took advantage of the march of June 16. He took advantage of that. He got educated and he is smart. His name is Mankind, y'all. He represents us as people. Check him out with a 16 bar.
16-bar marathon, color film pictures. It's Mankind, the original man multimedia. What up? Bantu education was already way too much to handle, but the forced Afrikaans is what broke the back of the camel. The children faced a major disadvantage. Instead of focusing on the subject, they now had to master the language. They marched headed to Orlando Stadium like pilgrims, cops firing at the children. Why'd they have to kill them? Itchy fingers on the trigger, police couldn't wait to pull it. 13-year-old Hector Peterson took the first bullet. Pandemonium broke out as gunshots shattered his cranium. Cops blocked the march before they could get to the stadium. The rattle of machine guns echoes, tear gas and sirens reverberate through the ghetto of Soweto. Burning and looting would ensue throughout the township. Reportedly 20 died, but the real figure's close to 1,000. The rioting would quickly spread across the country, and for the regime things never went back to being quite as comfy. Bantu education was aiming to give the native training how to be a good slave to the white nation without complaining. From the deep fryer straight into the fire, from the prior mission schools they try to kill our desire. Bantu education was aiming to give the native training how to be a good slave to the white nation without complaining. From the deep fryer straight into the fire, from the prior mission schools they try to kill our desire. 16-bar marathon, Mankind the original man, color film pictures, holding it down from the J section straight to B side, shouting out all those who lost their lives on June 16, 1976. You know what I mean? We salute you. We owe our gratitude to you guys. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. So I want people to relate
I think the main thing that goes through my mind when I write music is it needs to be relatable. I'm constantly observant of, the world around me, but with a certain lens, so I have a very socio-political, socio-economic lens through which I observe the world around me, within the context of Pan-Africanism, if I can call it that. So I want people to take away something Pan-African from my music, whether it is a knowledge that perhaps they didn't know or understand about Africa, about where we come from, our origins, our situations, our challenges, our different dilemmas. So I really want that resonance among people, and that's what I want people to take away from my music.
The mind by education, I don't mean being institutionalized. I mean honing a skill from everything we learn, making a dream real by putting ideas to work, aging. You realize time is no illusion, wasted. You find your mind lost in the confusion, accepting beliefs that are far from the truth. How do we lead when we are followers of others' views? Lacking our own, all we know is what they show. Even the lie the preacher told, we accept as our own. Searching for God, but as men we go to the inner self, we ignore that's who we belong to. Word from the King of Judah, remember your creator. Through that view, life is worth more than paper. As far as truth go, we all bound to die. Past, present, and future is one time line. There's no rewind. Yeah. Hey man, if say I happen to pass away, God forbid, but if I happen to pass away, then what, as you're asking, if what would I want people to take away from what I'm saying? And I've listened to, some of the old songs that I've done, and I'm like, okay, there was some songs that were real life related, but most of the songs that would do would be like your MC type songs, killing these MCs type joints, So, and then I just felt like, okay, say it happens, I pass away now. Is this what the music that the people would be left with? Like if they ask who BK is and what was his message to the world, is this what it is? Killing MCs, and the whole thing where I'll listen to Bob Marley's music and I'm like, this dude is not making music about how he's the dopest among of all, the reggae artists, like, Peter Tosh can't touch him, or whatever. He didn't make music about that, and he wouldn't even self-proclaim himself that he's the legend. You know what I mean? He just made incredible music about life situations that ultimately, when people relate to what he's saying and reflecting in emotions that people relate to, that ultimately made him a legend, that he could reach out to people like in that way. So for me, it ended up getting to that point where I just felt like I need to chill a bit on rapping and just because ultimately I got to be in the TV industry and producing music for TV, drama series and sitcoms and stuff, and I just dwelled there. I just didn't want to make music about rappers or hip hop and that. I needed to grow and experience life and get to a point where I'm like, okay, now what I believe I'm able to share life experiences. Like people can draw from my own life experiences with what I've come to observe and learn as life goes on, and because I feel that's how we help each other as a community, where the more we communicate about situations, we get to understand each other, and that's where I wanted to be about it. I wanted to be about life. I wanted my raps and my music to be about life situations. Although, I mean, hip hop is, I do still have the killing MCs type joints that don't go away, but I just didn't want to have that being my ultimate goal of making music.
Right. That's a matrix shit. Ke batla motho a nke bophelo, bane mmino o ko etsang kwa bophelo. ke mmino wa o tswang ka ke boletse go tlhabo ke motho wa badimo nkare le pina tse ding ke nahana ga se nna ke dingwala ke nahana go di ke di belo go ke tsena be pina ena be ke batla bang ke bophelo ke bona ntho ke batlang ba ruta yona hore rata wena wa bona ha o rata wena o tlo ratwa ke bohle o tlo rata tsohle ke bophelo lerato la marato kaofela ke lerato la do iphang lona ke yona ntho ka ratang go ba nke o tlhago bophelo.
Right. Mankind, man. Yeah, man. I told you, educated brother, right? And right now we have Dongo Gara, guys. Battlekat, guys. Like I don't know. What do we say about Battlekat? He's Battlekat. Like, if you don't know who he is, then you don't know SA hip hop. You don't know what has happened. I mean, he's BK, guys. Check him out with a 16-bar marathon, man. Khala Filim pictures.
Imagine, I've come to feel myself so many times in life that when I get given a platform to address young minds, it gets difficult to take position of guardian. I mean, what do I tell them? Yeah. A lack of education is abuse to the mind. By education, I don't mean being institutionalized. I mean honing a skill from everything we learn, making a dream real by putting ideas to work. Aging, you realize time is no illusion, wasted. You find your mind lost in the confusion, accepting beliefs that are far from the truth. How do we lead when we are followers of others' views? Lacking our own, all we know is what they show. Even the lie the preacher told, we accept as our own. Searching for God, but it's men we go to. The inner self we ignore, that's who we belong to. Word from the King of Judah, remember your creator. Through that view, life is worth more than paper. As far as truth go, we all bound and die. Past, present, and future as one timeline. There's no rewind. Yeah. 16-bar marathon. Khala Filim pictures. Someone gotta want the word. B&B music. In the place. Word. Word. Peace.
I told you, Battlekat, right? Dongo Gara. I mean, ayo. Okay, man, I'm tired of getting excited. I'm sorry that it's come to this. I'm gonna have to leave you. But yeah, man, on social media, we are still out here. We still want to see you in the comment section. Khala Filim pictures, hashtag 16-bar marathon. Have a conversation. Let's talk about it. We love you. And remember what I said? Episode 2 when I told you guys about something coming up soon. Yeah, we have a 16-bar cipher, man. So keep tuned, man. I go by the name of Support Blythe Writer. Khala Filim picture, 16-bar marathon.
Oh, okay. You know, all my social media handles are on my website. So what I usually do, I'll give you the website and then just browse through it. You'll find all the social media handles. So the website is it's babinc.co.za. babinc.co.za. And when you go to the Origins page, you find my biography there, and then at the bottom, there's all my social media handles. There's my Facebook, my Twitter, and SoundCloud. I don't have Instagram. I'll only get Instagram account now since I think I'm gonna do a lot of visual presentation, so then I can have the reason to have that. But yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and SoundCloud you'll find at babinc.co.za. Well,
I mean, on Facebook, you can find me on Mankind Reality Check. So the reality check is one word. You find me on there. And then on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, Mankind, the original man. That's where people can catch me. We are working on some material that we're going to be putting out. I've actually got a mixtape that I'm working on now that I will be putting out in the next month or so. So I think in August we'll put that out, which will coincide with my birthday month. So yeah, look out for that mixtape. It's called African Folklore.
O ka nthola ho Facebook page Tlhaho Ntabanyane, on Twitter @Tlhaho82 ka ditlhako tse kgolo @Tlhaho82. Ke tsona tseo tse santsane di le teng ha jwale ko hona santsane ke lokisa YouTube le Instagram. Yeah, mara ha jwale ke tseo tse pedi ka di pheta. Tlhaho Ntabanyane Facebook, Twitter @Tlhaho82.
And then music one about Laga.
Ha jwale ke SoundCloud. Music wa ka le ka o thola ho SoundCloud Tlhaho Ntabanyane o le ka o sheba ho Audio Mac Halal Beats o teng moo.
Then why is your face red? Dude, you wasted. Well, since age 12, I feel like I'm someone else. It's funny that I like that. I feel like it says a lot about my character. Hey, man. That dude went cars outside. And when Eminem says the most fucked up things, like the most fucked up. And people are sleeping on that shit. You good?